Hey, so welcome to the Sims 4 speed build. I'm the occult leader. Today we are building Tanglewood from Phasmophobia. I think that this was a pretty decent build. I got it fairly accurate, so right now we're working on the floor plan. I managed to find a floor plan from the game that also marked out where some of the haunted objects are, the cursed objects. So we did add in some of those, but it laid out the rooms and some of the objects that were in them, so I was able to get the spacing right on the room. I did want to include the closet here in the foyer, but it didn't really work out very well just because of the way the Sims 4 sizes things. And I put this on a really tiny lot, so it didn't really fit either. I also designed a family for this house. We've got a mom, a father, and a child, and they have a baby on the way for the nursery. You'll also notice another adult standing there. That would be Lisa. I wanted Lisa White to haunt Tanglewood, as she is the most iconic, and this is the most iconic house. Anyone who has played Phasmophobia has played in Tanglewood. You can't not play in Tanglewood. It was the first map, and it's just such a solid street house. It's got a basement, it's got an upstairs, got a garage. The street houses are also mapped out a lot easier so that you can actually find the ghosts. And it's not so big that you spend hours looking for the ghost, even if you're on easier settings. But we've got the layout almost all the way planned. I ended up making the entryway a little bit wider, just so that the front door would look nicer. And the whole time I was referencing images on Google Images, which, to be honest, was mostly people building this house in The Sims. And I will say the one thing that people seem to not agree on in The Sims, but I actually double checked with the game, the roof faces this direction, where it's angled from the side, not the front. And there were a couple of Simmers who did not do that. I thought that was interesting. So we're working on the kitchen, and in the kitchen I wanted it to look more accurate than be based on money-wise. So I did end up putting more funds into this than I intended. This is not a starter home by a long shot. I actually ended up cheating, I think it was like 50k more into the house, and I had 30k left over at the end. But most of that budget went to the kitchen and dining room where I started. But that's mainly just kitchen appliances are expensive. And I wanted to make sure that they looked the most like what was in the house. And don't worry, we did include the potato. I spent an hour digging through debug to try to find a potato and ended up just buying one from the nectar station. But there is, in fact, a potato in the kitchen island. But yeah, so for The Sims, I wanted them to be kind of basic. So I believe the wife has the wellness aspiration. They're active Sims, they love the outdoors. And they don't really spend a lot of time at home, was my thought process. They probably go to the park and spend time at the park, and then at home it's more focused on like doing chores, having dinner, and spending time with your family, because they do have like a family style setup in the living room. There's no personal offices, so there wasn't a lot that I could go off of to decide like what they would be doing. But I kind of see the mom as like maybe a stay-at-home PTO mom. She probably participates in all of her kids' activities and then spends her free time at the spa, since, you know, she has a spa membership. The dad, on the other hand, I believe has the bodybuilding aspiration, if I had to guess. I don't remember exactly. I don't have him pulled up. But he was active, and I figured that's how they get along, is they're both active Sims. They probably get out of the house. I pictured him more as a businessman, so I gave him more, like, nicer clothes, but not like he's going to a ball nice clothes, if that makes sense. He's wearing a suit, but it's not a tuxedo, which was actually pretty hard to do, because the tuxedos in the game are either incredibly fancy or they are incredibly, like, messy. Like, they're not buttoned right, they show too much of his chest, which looks weird on Sims. Like, if a guy showed up like that, I wouldn't notice, but it looks weird on the Sim. And I noticed that some of the suits in different packs are actually reskins of a season suit, and that was interesting to notice. But then I made sure that they had like a child for the blue room. The kid's active. I figure they're following in their family's footsteps. They'll probably keep going the active route. Maybe they'll lean into the ghost hunting space as they come to grips with the fact that their home is haunted. So we're working on the dining room. I tried to make sure it was still functional space, so there's only one kitchen island side, even though in the normal house there's two. I didn't have enough space to make that. Honestly, if this house was 5 tiles wider, I think that would have helped. I didn't need it longer, I needed it wider. But it works. I skipped the spider plant, and I ended up putting this plant instead over here. I did find the snake plant later on, because there's snake plants throughout this house. And I did put the snake plant by the door, which needed a little shuffling. Here we have the cabinet where the monkey's paw sits, which I put the hand for Gaidri in there as like a monkey paw substitute. I think the only cursed objects I didn't do tarot cards. I'm gonna add the music box after, because I realized what would be a good stand-in for it is like a keepsake box. Because this is all just EA content. I don't have any mods or anything. I did end up using cheats at the end and going through debug just to add some things that like were a little fun. So like for the summoning circle in the basement, I turned one of the paranormal stuff pack circles red and I sized it up. I think I got the placement right on it though, for where the 5 points should sit. And I want to add candles. I just couldn't find the candles and I was getting really tired. This build took me so long. I think it was 4 hours of building. And an hour of that was looking for a potato that's not even in debug from what I could tell. But I remember seeing plants in there before. So I'm really confused as to where it went. But I added the radiator here. I didn't add the other radiators in the house just because they didn't seem like an important feature to have elsewhere. But like it kind of makes this space. I added the picture on the wall that ghosts can throw. And I didn't make the back area, that window thing, a sliding door. I just made it windows because it's not functional in game. So I didn't really want it to be functional here, especially because the backyard is kind of pointless. The garage doors, on the other hand, once we get to the garage, those are functional in that you can walk in and out of it. You just can't drive the car through it. Because you can't drive the car, because we don't have cars in The Sims 4. But now I'm moving on to the living room, and actually this couch came in the right color for the couch in the game. Not necessarily the right vibes, because it's more of a modern take, but it does the job. And it fits really well into this living room. I did have to make one of the sides shorter than I had intended originally, just because of how wide the space ended up being. I spent a while on the windows here too, because nothing is like that grid sort of shape while taking up the right amount of space, and you can't get the windows to sit close enough to each other for 2 windows to look right. And so while the Parenthood windows would have worked, it was just way too wide for the space I had. If I could go back and like size this up, I would definitely use the Parenthood windows. They seem to fit the best for the style of house that Tanglewood is. But I ended up using the Strangerville ones, because the Strangerville ones are pretty decent. They fit with the vibe of the house. And we did get them a TV for the ghost to turn off and on. We did not get the tarot cards, like I said. I also didn't put the voodoo doll, because I'm not sure where to find the voodoo doll in-game. Not in Phasmo, in Sims 4. The voodoo doll would be in the garage. We also don't have the round trash bin, so I ended up not putting that there, but I did include mannequins. So it feels pretty realistic for what the space would have been. I also struggled a bit with the wallpaper, because some shots make the walls look white in Phasmo, but then other shots the walls kind of look blue, so I was trying to balance between white and blue, which actually there's no plain white swatch on the basic paint, so it ended up being all light blue anyway. Adding the bookshelves. I used the bookshelves from the Book Nook kit. They just look right. But yeah, I decided that blue was just a bit too blue, and so I ended up lightening it. It looks a lot better that way. It really brings the space together. So for the rest of this neighborhood, basically what we're going to do is I'm going to finish this small section out with other houses from Phasmophobia. I'm definitely going to do Willow Creek, and I think Edgefield, because I play in them a lot, especially Willow. The Willow Street house is just... it's another one of those ones that you play in a lot, so I really want to add it in, and I think it'll go well. Especially because there's the basement. I love basements. I never have basements in The Sims, and I should really work on that more. But yeah, so we added more space to the entryway and shrank that little space in between. And we ended up having a smaller laundry room because of it, so it would have been nice to have, like I said, a couple extra tiles to make that space more livable. But we did get functional washing, which I didn't realize until after I had built it. So the washing machines, the minute you add them, you automatically have laundry. So there's no laundry bin. So if you do download this house, you're going to have to add a laundry bin. But yeah, here's where I find the snake plant and put it in. I felt a little embarrassed about not noticing that earlier, but you know, it is what it is. And if you like watching me build in The Sims, definitely tune in for our streams. We're going to be expanding our house soon. We stream Sims every Monday. I don't really have a set time of day that I do it because I can't keep track of time to save my life. But it's usually sometime on Monday. And even if you only click in for a few minutes, that's better than not clicking in at all. It's like with food. Eating something is, you know, better than not eating something. Brushing your teeth a little bit, better than not brushing at all. But we are currently doing a Let's Play where we're doing all of the cooking-based aspirations, anything having to do with food. Right now we're working on the basic cooking aspiration. Yeah, the hallway closet wasn't going to happen. I couldn't put anything in the foyer. But yeah, we married Eliza Pancakes because Bob Pancakes was not receptive to my advances. So we've married Eliza Pancakes. We have a massive garden in the Tomarani area. And it's actually a pretty solid Let's Play. We're doing really well. I'm looking for ways to include a little bit more chaos. So if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to enjoy some other content, like maybe some Phasmophobia in the future, we also stream on Fridays. And I post normal videos on Thursdays. This will be going up on a Tuesday, so I'm thinking about changing the upload schedule so that I'm uploading on Tuesdays and Thursdays and then streaming Mondays and Fridays. because I've had a lot of life changes and I'd like to increase the amount of activity on this channel, and our videos seem to get more activity. So we're going to be doing Sims builds starting on Tuesdays now. This should be up tomorrow the 9th. I'm really cutting it close on all of these videos. Oh yeah, I couldn't fit the 2-wide one just because the washroom is a lot smaller, so I ended up using that plain bathroom rack. It's not ideal, and I would change it if I had a little bit more space, but it does work, and it does make the room still have the same vibes of the utility room. Especially because you mostly just walk through the utility room. Nobody actually goes in there unless the ghost is in there. And even if the ghost is in there, you probably want to be in the garage anyway, because that's where the hiding spots are. But yeah, we're also going to be doing some other areas of the Newcrest area, or some other neighborhoods in Newcrest. So the Long Strip neighborhood, where it's the 5 houses in a row, or 5 lots in a row. I'm going to be doing those as all of the occults, starting with werewolves. I'm gonna have, that's actually where I'm gonna put the warehouse for the Phasmophobia guys too, which one of my friends has already volunteered to be one of the investigators. I figured they would set it up so that they have like the ghost hunting lounge area, and then there would be a back area with some bedrooms and hangout stuff, so that they live on the job, but they definitely are renting. So I'm going to use the for rent to set it up so that on one half of the lot is the werewolf warehouse, where it's just a refurbished warehouse. They don't do a whole lot out of it. They're just werewolves. Maybe they have a bake sale. Maybe they bake things. That could be their thing. But then the other house is going to be for the ghost hunting crew, and that'll be how they make money, is they're all paranormal investigators. And I would make it so that their place is haunted, but I can't, so it's definitely going to be cursed. For this house, Tanglewood I marked as a haunted house. I gave it good lot traits though, because like it's in a nice affluential neighborhood. They're still pretty well set up. They've got good schools. It's a good study spot. Sunny aspect. Beautiful house. Because if you remove the ghost from the house, it's a beautiful place to live. But it's also haunted and cursed because Lisa died there. And Lisa is... I believe Lisa's an evil sim. She's evil, mean, and something else. I don't remember. I just gave her a bunch of evil traits. And then I was asking my husband what I should do to kill her. Like, what would be the Lisa death? Because we play Phasmo together. And he wanted me to strike her with lightning, but I couldn't figure out how to do it without having, like, actual mods installed, which I don't have the patience to take care of for a video. Eventually, I'll end up downloading a couple, because MC Command Center seems pretty solid. But the only death afforded to me was, death by rabbits. So here towards the end of the build, you'll see her get eaten by an invisible rabbit. That's pretty solid. But yeah, so my in-game thought is she died in the basement, and because they never go in the basement because there's nothing in the basement except for a bunch of junk, like haunted things just keep happening down there. So like they didn't paint the circle, the summoning circle, but there is a summoning circle down there. And the only cursed objects in the upstairs is the cursed mirror and the hand, the monkey's paw. So like they probably got the monkey's paw as like a display piece. And then who's gonna argue with a free hallway mirror, right? But yeah, so here I'm doing the teal room. It's the master bedroom. I I think it's supposed to have a mirror on the wall, but I didn't put one. I did include the candles though, because there is a candle in that room, which you can use as a firelight. I put a bunch of clutter in the closet because that's all that's in the closet is a bunch of clutter. And I added curtains on all the windows because they do have curtains on all of the windows. The only one I didn't get was the other bathroom because for some reason these curtains just don't sit well on the bathroom windows. The blue room is in fact painted blue, and we got some nice white siding for the rest of the house, which placed a little funny because of the way I drew out everything. And I fixed the roof so that it covers the whole thing. Oh, and we did end up including the security camera at the front door. Along with the light above the door. I had to size it down because it's supposed to be on like the outside of a business building, and so it didn't quite look right. But here we are putting the potato in his closet, or cabinet. Potatoes go in the cabinet. So while you cannot see it when you're playing, just know it is in fact in the closet, or cabinet. And we did decorate the whole basement. It's super nice. I had the mattress on the wall that's down there, the rocking chair, the broken fridge. So nothing down here is like useful and functional. It just exists. There's some storage racks, kind of like what they have in Phasmo anyway. I didn't put any coolers down here just because I was worried that the Sims might track to down here. And I spaced them out a bit more because, like, obviously the spacing in here isn't right. And we placed our mannequin that the ghost can teleport around the map, and a pile of bones in the corner for Lisa. There's our summoning circle. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. We'll do a full tour once the speed build is done. We just gotta place a couple more items. The bones are pretty important. Get some lights in here. Paint the walls. Oh yeah, the rocking chair too. Oh, and I almost forgot to do the nursery. Which I did put the stuffed bear in the nursery. I don't know if there's a rabbit in this map. But yeah. Now that I think about it, the nursery could have used a couple extra tiles because you can't actually hide behind the crib that's in there. And the changing table is really kind of in the middle of the wall, not on the edge of the wall or in the corner. But I included the shelf with the teddy bear. I just sized down Blarfy and put him up there. Excellent. And here's where I kind of realized that, yeah, that would be an excellent box for the music box. Because the music box is pretty key. And I added the lockers from high school years. Important. Gotta have your hiding spots. And since I couldn't really include the closets in here very well, having the lockers kind of makes up for it. And we put some shelves up. I saw some people place the handiness table in here, and I didn't really have a whole lot of space for it, so I didn't. But I did include a trash can and a mailbox, so this should be a fully functional Tanglewood. Here for your haunted ghost viewing pleasure. But yeah, we're just getting in some last minute lights. I wanted the basement to have that hanging light from the laundry day stuff where it's just the light bulb. Yeah, Lisa dead. Got the Grim Reaper to come. Cursed lot. But yeah, the lady in the red sweater literally walked up, laughed, and was super happy, then started crying. And I had to make all my Sims happy afterwards because they were very sad at watching Lisa. And I couldn't pick her grave up, so I had to have the kid bring it inside so that I could put her down in the basement in the pile of bones. But yeah, so now we're gonna hop into game. But yeah, so here we are in game. So I'm gonna do just a basic walkthrough using, you know, the look around thing. Oh, look, a neighbor. So here's the front of the house. I didn't have a lot of yard space to work with. I did include the planters under the blue room. And here's the garage. I couldn't put concrete here, so just, you know, pretend there's a walk up. There's the security camera, the little light. There's supposed to be planter boxes there, but I kind of forgot about that. So here's the foyer. There's the bowl. The keys are in for the car. Shoes, because shoes are important. We got this part of the foyer that leads to the blue room, which I included the computer and the guitar. I ended up going with a single bed just because it's just a kid. They don't really need a double bed. And I didn't have a whole lot of space to work with. We've got the bathroom, which ended up being bigger than normal, so I put in just one of those. I didn't paint the ceiling because they just have, like, your typical stucco ceilings. Here we have the nursery, which I gave them that cute chandelier from high school years. Which I kind of want to do like a dopamine build where I just build with items that give me a lot of dopamine. Here we have the cursed mirror. Lovely, love that. This is the one that fit best in my opinion. Here's the master bedroom where we do have clothes on the floor. Because I forgot they needed a baby for the nursery, so they got busy making a baby. Here, I swear there's supposed to be a mirror there, so we'll probably add one in. But here's their bathroom, all nice and neat. Here is, oh, that's just the bathroom again. Here's the closet. I added some shoes and boxes. There's supposed to be a desk here, but again, not enough space. So let's come out this way. Here's the living room with the TV. This legitimately looks like walking into Tanglewood. This is horrifying. I used a lot of the pack that the sofa came in, the Dream Home Decorator. It just fits. Here's their kid sitting and doing some schoolwork in the very lovely dining room. See, there's the monkey's paw. Here we got the kitchen, which is an excellent spot to loop the ghost. Oh yeah, here, get a better look at the kid. Wow, child. I didn't give her outfits. I didn't go through her outfits. She could be wearing anything, but it probably looks like a kid. Here is the laundry utility room. Very lovely, very lovely. And the garage. Oh god, that jump scared me. I hate mannequins. But yeah, so we got the lockers. We got, well, to say they're prepared for anything would be an understatement. Oh yeah, and we included a fuse box. Some more shelves, and then we'll head down to the basement. So down here, down here is the, oh, why can't I go down? How do I get into the basement? Okay, well, from here you can see the basement. There's the summoning circle. There's Lisa. That's all the basement has to offer. I don't actually know how people get into the basement, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this nice little build. You can find it on the gallery. Honestly, just type in Tanglewood. I might give it a hashtag. Yeah, we got a nice little dining room. And at least these chairs work, which is all you really need, so. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you enjoyed this video, there will be another one posted a week from now, doing the werewolf and warehouse build, which I still need to work on. Resident Evil on Thursday, which I think I finally worked out the kinks for. You can check out my Patreon below. I haven't posted anything because I haven't done anything. But, you know, it's free, so it's not costing you anything. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you back on this channel. Same turtle time, same turtle place. Have a wonderful day.